From Ray Bradbury's Something Wicked This Way Comes. Oh God, midnight's not bad. You wake and go back to sleep. 1 or 2's not bad. You toss but sleep again. 5 or 6 in the morning, there's hope, for dawn's just under the horizon. But 3 now? Christ, 3 a.m. Doctors say the body's at low tide then. The soul is out. The blood moves slow. You're the nearest to dead you'll ever be, save dying. Sleep is a patch of death, but 3 in the morn, full wide-eyed staring, is living death. You dream with your eyes open. God, if you had the strength to rouse up, you'd slaughter your half-dreams with buckshot. But no, you lie pinned to a deep well bottom that's burned dry. The moon rolls by to look at you down there with its idiot face. It's a long way back to sunset, a far way on to dawn. So you summon all the fool things of your life, the stupid lovely things done with people known so very well who are now so very dead. And wasn't it true? Had he read somewhere, more people in hospitals die at 3 a.m. than at any other time? This is Gothic. Hey there, Sojourners. Just another warning that this episode contains a bit of static, along with a fair bit of violence. The static should be done with after this episode. I believe we've got it all tracked down and eliminated. Meanwhile, thank you for sharing the dark with us. Tonight, a flashback of one Mr. Chauncey Candlewick. In a suite of cheap rooms above a tavern in Whitechapel, a lamp flickers. The curtains over the window move in a breeze, and a heaviness seeps into the front chamber, where there is only a couch, a desk, a chair, the lamp, and a full-length mirror. "Mr. Candlewick," says a soft voice from the shadows, from all the shadows. "You are summoned to the crossroads."
Here we go.
Chauncey Candlewick straightens his suit jacket and reaches for his hat. Unless you want to fight this compulsion?
No, I see no reason to. Just it's better to get through it than live with the fear of it.
Okay. You put the hat on and step in front of the mirror. In it, you see the same slim visage you have seen so many times before. There are so many days in eternity. Long, long days. But then in the mirror, your face changes, becomes pale and white. Dark circles appear around your eyes, your lips pull back, blacken, and the teeth behind yellow with rot. You reach for your walking stick, and it slips into your hand. In the mirror, your visage fades, and the image of a road appears. 2 roads, crossing somewhere. If you thought about it long enough, you would probably recognize them. You have been to so many, but you really just could not care any less. You step through the mirror and are there, at the crossroads. The sky is a dim skein of clouds, underlit by the light of a rising moon. A dead man's tree leans over the lane to your left. Slumped against the base of the tree is a man. He wears rumpled clothes, pants, shirt, peasant's hat askew. He stares at the space that is no longer empty now that you occupy it.
Is this person just some random Joe?
Well, you see that the blood of his sacrifice, a goat, stains his hands, and the goat itself is nearby, slain upon the grass next to him. He stands up and says, I didn't know if you'd come or not, but you did, and I wish to make a deal."
Ooh, well, in that case, I have a little tip of my hat and a little bow, and introductions. I am Mr. Candlewick, and what is it that I can do for you, friend?
I am Callum McCurry, and, well, it's quite simple. I wish to kill someone. So, well, not just someone, I wish to kill them all, for they took me Kate from me. We were true believers, we were. Went to the church every week, we did. We prayed the prayers. Maybe we didn't expect heaven to help us all that much in the hard times, but we didn't expect 'em to come and kill us neither.
Shame. Well then, exactly who is it that you want dead?
I want to kill the angels. All of them.
Excuse me? Angels. Oh, okay. Well, I must say, this is a first. Normally we have some petty landlords or things like this. Okay, this is interesting. And you believe that by using dark magic you can summon someone to handle your celestial hocus pocus?
Oh, I don't want someone else to handle them. No, dinna want that. I do. I want to do it myself at me own hands. I want their blood to spill in sight of me. I want them to suffer the way that I've suffered. It has taken me a while to be able to find the means to bring you here, but I did it. And I know what the cost will be, but I'm willing to pay it, for I want them gone. I want them all gone. I want them dead on the ground. I want them gone.
Oh, you're ambitious. Dead on the ground.
Yes, he is, says the voice in your head. Quite ambitious, isn't he?
I'm going to think to my head, and I'm like, Master, I'm not sure this is a reasonable request.
Well, maybe not, but it certainly sounds like an entertaining one.
What is your bidding?
Reach into the crossroads. Reach deep. Reach into the heart of the world. There's something waiting there for one like this.
As you wish.
Something that can be summoned only by the purest of hearts for the most bloody of reasons.
You don't actually mean to, entertain this man, do you?
No, I think I will.
Okay. All right. Crossroads. Reach into it, eh? Well, I'm gonna turn back to this poor desperate soul, and I'm gonna put a smile on my face and
it's horrific.
A little twinkle in my eye, and then I was like, I believe we can work a deal for you. Okay, so I will do as my master has said, and I will reach into the crossroad.
Okay, your hand goes into the dirt, your sleeve rolled up to the elbow, and you reach pretty far in, even past the point where your sleeve is rolled up. And you have this impression of incredible heat, and you feel something, and you put your hand around it, and it is stuck. So you need to make, for me, an act under pressure roll.
Oh no. Okay, act under pressure. That is a 7.
Okay, excellent. All right. You're going to be able to pull this out, but it's going to really shred your arm up. It's just going to, through the heat and the rocks and everything, that you feel like you have reached very much further deep than your elbow. And you may not have use of your arm for a while.
What the hell is going on?
Or, when you pull it out, something else is going to come with it. You don't know what, but you feel like there might be something else holding on to it, and whatever that is may just very well come out as well as whatever you have your hand around. Or you're going to pull it out and very, very desperately want to keep it, but know that it will burn your soul to do so.
Ooh. That's a hard choice.
That's what they're supposed to be.
Congratulations, you hit the nail on the head. All right, Mr. Candlewick. You know what? I'm feeling a little greedy tonight. I think I'm going to want to keep it.
Okay.
Yes, I'll try. Oh, let's see what it is.
You pull upon the thing that you grasp, and the whole landscape jitters, almost like a vibration, and not just the landscape, but the sky, the everything, the sky, the earth, everything in between, the clouds, the moon, the whole of existence, except for you, just seems to jitter. When you draw it forth, its 8-foot span gleams with reflected moonlight, polished steel all the way from the haft to where it narrows 2/3 of the way up its length to a shining needle nearly 3 feet long. It is a spear. Its name is the Fall of Heaven.
Oh my. Oh my. Well then, what is the poor wretch doing?
He's just watching as you did this, and you got a feeling that he felt or saw something too when the world shuddered. But his eyes are wide now, looking only at the spear, because he feels it that can do what he wants it to do. The deal is this, says the voice in your head. He shall have both the means and the time with which to wreak his vengeance, but then his soul is mine. Have him signed, not in the goat's blood, in his own. But you want this thing. You want it so badly.
Ooh.
Mr. Candlewick, says the voice in your head, you're not giving him the spear or the contract.
Perhaps we could find another way, and I could Master, I'm having a hard time wanting to let this beauty go.
Okay, I understand. Of course I do. How about this? When he is done with it, it will be yours.
The spear?
Mm-hmm.
The spear? Oh,
yeah.
I'm loath to make any bargains.
You have done so much for me. I'm willing to grant a gift, and honestly, I don't expect him to be able to kill all the angels everywhere.
God, I'm gonna hate myself for this. Excellent. You're most gracious, Master.
Make sure that the contract says what it's supposed to say. He has both the means and the time with which to wreak his vengeance upon the angels, and then have him sign that. I don't care what the other words are, just make sure that those are in there.
Means and the time to wreak his vengeance.
Upon the angels.
Upon the angels.
There you go. That's it. Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Oh, man. Yes, Master. Absolutely. Positively. I'm going to spin around to this guy and give him a smile. And present the spear.
It's horrifying.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to present the spear in the glint of the moonlight.
He takes it, and that's pretty much that. That's the deal. So he does sign the contract, and you have him do it in his own blood.
Oh, yes. I repeat those words exactly.
Well, there's actual paperwork. There's always paperwork. Yeah, of course, and I'm going to tell him about this. He's like, you'd be surprised how much paperwork goes into this. Vengeance, wreaking, immortality. It's really a bothersome. I didn't care. I'm so glad now I can do it. Now all I have to do is find them. But I will. I've got means, I think.
Means to find angels?
I do.
Means.
I'm
color me curious, my dear friend, but what exactly did you have in mind?
I'm going to draw up things from the depths that they've never seen before, that they can't resist coming to fight thems that wish to punish the wicked. I'll show 'em wicked.
So I'm going to take in the measure of this poor soul real quick. Is he being serious? Does he really believe this nonsense that he's spouting?
Well, let's see.
Or is he just another madman? Well, he's obviously a madman. He's talking to me.
Well, let's see. What would be a good role for this?
Oh, what would be a good role?
Or will you just know? I mean, you have some experience with human nature.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Like this. Maybe it's just I'm respecting his passion and things, but it's also it's a comedy. That's going to be his tragedy. You know what? I would like to try to manipulate him into revealing his sources.
What do you mean by his sources?
I'm just curious, who's fed him this lie that he believes he can summon up some horrible catastrophe all on his little lonesome?
Okay, go ahead and roll manipulate someone to get him to spill his secrets.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get any good laughs, but this is kind of rich. All right, that is an 11.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, he doesn't mind telling you at all.
Please, sir, regale the tale for me on how you plan to go about accomplishing this most arduous task, called a professional curiosity.
Yes, I'm from Durness, I am, in the Highlands, and not far from here, in fact, but still a few days' ride. And, well, there, in Durness, there's a church, and in the church, well, there's a crypt. And there are books in that crypt, books that I found because, well, I'm a caretaker there as well. And, well, those books, they speak of things. They speak of things that live in the sea off the coast of whatever town I just said I was from, off the coast of Durness. And, well, it'll take me a while, but I think I can draw them up with the rituals I've read. And that thing that lives out there in the depths, that thing ain't no beloved of heaven. And when it comes, it'll bring darkness and death and doom, and there'll only be one thing that can stop it. Yeah, angels. And when they come, I got this. Them same books told me, they did, how to draw you here.
Ah.
And so I know they work, don't I? Yes.
Interesting. Well then, you certainly now have the means to get your revenge. And as I think of it now, I suppose the time is ticking. So, hurry off to these things, and I'll be in touch. I'd like to see this.
I know the price. I read the deal. You fade away and step backwards back through the mirror in your rooms and see yourself in the mirror as your features change back to those you are more used to seeing in the mirror.
I touch my face.
It is years later, and you have all but forgotten the deal made that night of thin moonlight at the Scottish crossroads, when there comes a knock at the door of the rooms in Whitechapel. Do you open the door?
I always open doors. That's my profession.
You open the door. An angel stands there. Before you could say anything, there you see just absolute fury and rage in the angel's face. "I am Laurie," says the angel, "and here's your spear." With that, the angel shoves the fall of heaven through your chest, cracking your rib cage, piercing your heart, breaking your spine, and killing you instantly.
Oh, snap! Oh, bastards!
Moo ha 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 ha.
Oh, well, I got the spear. I think to myself, is this really happening?
Oh, you only have really one thought before you die, and it is a memory, one that takes you back all the way to the beginning. Well, the beginning of your immortality. You are a knight of the how do you say it?
Hospitalers?
You are a knight of St. John.
Ooh.
And you are on the Isle of Rhodes.
On Rhodes? Okay.
You are there during there is a siege from the Ottoman Empire. They have brought several hundred ships and are besieging the island, and particularly the towers was where it all began. But you are currently on the bloodiest day of fighting that there has been. It is the 27th of July, and at dawn, the Turks launched an offensive with about 2,500 Janissaries. They managed to take the Tower of Italy and enter the city. And you are fighting street to street, essentially, along with a lot of other of the knights, as well as quite a few regular soldiers, 500 knights and 2,000 soldiers from France.
That's hot and heavy.
It is. You are... What's your weapon of choice?
I'm going to say it's a flail.
Okay. For the purposes of this, actually, I think you have this playbook already, so I'll just let you use the playbook of the wronged.
Oh, yes, I do have that right here. Okay, got it.
Because you would not currently be immortal, so use that, and wherever applicable, make it knightly stuff. So I believe you have some armor there.
Yes, I do. Most definitely. My armor and my shield.
And you are currently fighting with a group of 5 French knights, and you are being pressed by about twice that many of the Janissaries, and they scream their pagan curses and wave their strange swords, and their garb is not unusual to you anymore, but of course nothing like you would have seen back home in England, where you left your dear and beloved wife.
Oh man, on foreign soil, far away, fighting the enemies of the church. Oh, I'm in the thick of it. I'm where I'm meant to be.
So the wronged portion of this playbook is probably just going to be the offenses of the Turks against your church and your belief systems.
Gotcha. Perfect.
They come brandishing their weapons, charging at you.
I'm going to call out to the men around me, God is with us! Charge!
Roll, these guys are knights, but they're conscripted, more or less, and things have gone poorly. So roll manipulate someone here.
I'm going to say that I am a man of fervor. So, I'm gonna flex my muscles. Yeah, I'm a man of fervor. So we shall roll.
These are just regular knights and soldiers here with you.
I've got to lead this group to glory. Uh-oh.
If you were like everyone else in their flashbacks, you will not succeed at hardly a single roll.
So that's a 5.
Jesse actually leveled up twice in his flashback.
Oh my. Oh, so I'm keeping track of this XP?
Yes, you get to keep these.
Oh, okay. So just add it to the other.
This one is kind of weird because, this is even before you become an immortal, so essentially it's a different playbook. You get an experience point for this playbook, The Wronged. 4 more of those, and you can give him a boost up.
Excellent. Okay, so what is the result of my failed encouragement?
You shout your encouragements to God and glory. They look like they're gonna balk. These Janissaries are just like berserkers almost coming at you, and there's fighting all around. Smoke is rising from all over the city, and it really doesn't look good. So they break and run.
No.
However, there is an alley nearby. You can dodge into that if you like.
Is it an overwhelming force that's in front of me?
There's 5. You can try to take them all.
Oh, okay. You know what? I will not run. I am not the running type. I will meet them head on.
Okay. Roll another manipulate somebody for when those that were with you see you doing this.
That is a 13.
Oh, nice. Okay. They see you doing this. They see you standing, and they stop. Now, they stop and they turn, and you don't have time to see if they come back for you, but because then those 5 Janissaries are on top of you, and they're swinging away.
Oh!
What do you want to do?
Okay. I've decided that I'm going to bash them in. I am going into a berserk fervor of my faith, because I am a devout man. And so with the Berserk, I'm going to fight like it. It says it's one of the second thing I chose for the wronged. It says, no matter how much harm you take, you can keep going until the current fight is over. During a fight, the keeper may not use harm moves on you, but after it ends, all harm takes effect as normal.
Nice.
So I'm just going to go into it. I'm here to kick some ass. For God and glory.
How much damage does your weapon do?
Let's see here. It looks like it is going to be, I suppose, what would this be the equivalent of? Oh, here's one. There's, I picked a flail. It wasn't actually on this. It was just like a medieval weapon that I thought was cool.
Sure. It'd just be something equivalent in the...
Okay, well, there's huge sword and axe. You want to go with that? Or there is daggers, chainsaws.
It would be like probably do the same damage as a sword or an axe.
All right, so it says 3 harm, hand, messy, heavy. Okay, so I guess I've got a big war flail then. I'll be swinging my war flail. I'll throw the shield off. My faith is enough armor for me.
Okay, so no, you can still wear your shield. It's just heavy and difficult to wield.
Okay, it's slow. It's like a big hulking melee weapon. Okay, cool.
All right, you just start flailing around, as they say.
So roll it.
Kick some ass.
Hell yeah. Ooh, that's an 11.
Extra effect.
I'm going to inflict terrible harm.
Okay.
I am just going to crush the enemies of my god.
Okay, so you bat off a couple of them, bash one aside with your shield, and just slam the flail down, and the big ball on there with its spiked head just thuds into this guy's skull and just smooshes it completely. It just splits in front of you, and brain and skull and gore go flying and splattering everywhere.
Yeah, Death Vault.
And that's what the messy tag means.
Excellent. Sweet. Okay.
Meanwhile, 3 of the others, they just lay into you with their own weapons, and you take 2 harm from each.
Okay, so I do have armor.
Which is how much?
It's just only 1.
You will take 1 harm from each of them.
Oh.
So 3 harm.
Okay.
These are wounds as they slash against your shield that just rock your arm up to the shoulder. One of them gets in a cut underneath the shield and through one of the joint links in your armor, and you feel blood flowing beneath your arm. The third cuts low and slashes at your leg, part of it glancing off of your greaves, but the other part of it cutting through flesh and muscle. But these things under normal circumstances would probably take you to your knees at best, but you're filled with such a holy fervor that you can keep on going.
Yes.
You hear curses behind you as your knights and the soldiers that were with you shout as the janissaries that moved past you crash into them with a clatter of blades and shields and cries of men in pain. And
yes. Does it look like they'll hold?
They were very inspired by your act of heroism here, and so it looks like they are not going to break before that onrush. But you still have 3 here on top of you, and then the other, so there were 10 total, so the other 6 went back there to fight your guys.
Gotcha. All right, so they've got this. I'm going to handle these 3 right here, unless it looks like they're having trouble. That's the only time I'm going to take my attention off these foes here. All right.
And they have you circled now, and they're taunting you in their foreign tongue.
Oh, all right. Bring your pretty faces to my mace. I'm going to start swinging that flail.
Okay, kick some ass.
That's another 11. You know what? After that first charge, I want to play a little bit safer, and I'm going to do the... Now, if I choose you suffer less harm, the -1 harm, is that against all of them or just one of them?
That's going to be, you'll suffer 1 less harm altogether.
Okay. And if I do the forward you only get to use once, right? It's not an ongoing.
Right.
I guess I'm gonna choose to suffer less harm. I'm gonna try to hang in there a little bit longer. Actually, how easy did that last guy go down?
You feel that it took the whole force of that to kill him outright. Now, you also know that even a blow slightly less than that could knock him out of the fight for a few moments at least.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to suffer less harm with the -1 instead of trying to finish one dude completely off, and we'll try to play the long game.
So you smash in another one. This blow from your flail whips into him at about chest height, and you hear bones crack underneath the padded armor that this guy wears, and he cries out and kind of clutches his chest and jabs at you with his sword. And then, as all of them do, I believe that completely adjusted for your armor and for the reduction in harm, you will only take 2 harm.
Oh, ow. That's ouchy. Oh, that's hurting. I'm in trouble. Okay.
After he stabs you, he staggers back and it starts tightening his robes around him, kind of trying to create a makeshift pressure bandage for his ribs.
Gotcha. Maybe I can hold off long enough. Ooh.
Behind you, you hear a cry as one of your knights goes down.
No!
So right now, you have 2 guys on you.
And my knights?
They look like they've taken out one of their guys, too. It's 5 on 3 now back there.
Ooh, we're pretty much stacked with us. I'm going to cry out to all of them, God is with us! And I'm going to kill this heretic. Ooh, that's only a 6.
Well, a 6 is experience.
No! I was doing so good.
If only you'd taken that +1 forward.
I know, right?
With a 6...
I'm hurt, but I don't feel it yet. I'm really hurt.
Yeah, who knows? You might want to make a deal with the devil in order to...
It's okay. It's the knight's way to die in battle. I'd like to believe I'm a man of courage.
You roll a 6. And with that, the fighting is momentarily delayed as bombardment from the ships out in the harbor, which have been pelting the city with cannonball fire for quite some time now. One of the stray cannonballs arcs in, and a building next to you all just sort of explodes. The masonry and such just bursts outward in a cloud of stone and dust and debris. It misses you mostly, although there's enough choking debris and fall of bricks and stones and such that for a moment neither you nor the Janissaries around you are swinging your swords or other weapons at one another. But behind you, you hear screams as both the Janissaries and your knights are crushed under falling stonework.
No! Oh man. So I'm guessing there's a lot of dust and everything in there.
There's a lot of dust in the air now. It's all orange. It's like you're in the midst of a sandstorm or a weird orange fog. The Janissaries come at you again out of that fog of orange.
Devils. All right. Can I hear any of my men? Are they okay? Is anybody out there?
Do you yell that?
Yeah, I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna call out to them. I'm going to see if I can try to remember the guy's name. I just can't quite remember it.
Yeah, you're a little stunned and your ears are ringing, but you cry out some names and all you hear are shouts in a foreign tongue.
No, God is with us. And I'm going to turn around and I want to look at these 2 who are like pressing the advantage through this. And I'm going to just like let out a battle roar and try to restate it again, at least for myself, that God is with me.
But this time it's almost a question.
Oh, I'll think about this once their blood runs on the sand. Kick their ass. 11.
Woohoo!
I've been knocking it out. Except the time I killed my men with my failure.
What are you choosing for your extra effect?
You know what? I'm going to trust. I'm going to inflict terrible harm. I'm sending one of these heathens straight to hell. For my men!
You whip the flail around again. That big, heavy metal ball with the spikes on the end just connects with the side of this guy's skull, and it just nearly takes his head off. It actually lifts him up off the ground, and then you, in your carry-through, essentially slam him and his head into the ground, gore splashing everywhere.
Oh, no, we're just going to death glare that last one.
He slashes in at you and deals 2 points of damage. Oh, I'm sorry, just 1 point of damage.
Because my armor, I'm down to a single box. I'm going to look at your neck.
Do you want to try to manipulate someone there or just kill him?
Man, I missed my chance to protect my men. God, that haunts me. No, he's got to die. The only blood will satisfy this at this point. It's me or him, right now.
Okay, roll it.
12! And I'm going to inflict terrible harm.
You come up with an underhand, and the mace just comes up, rips up across his belly and chest. Internal organs just spill out, and it catches his chin too, and then he goes flying backwards, and he flies backwards into the orange light of the fog, and you actually don't see him, but you hear him hit the ground.
Nice. And that one who was managing himself, what's he doing?
You fall to your knees, thinking of him, and you look around, and then you see him right there behind you, his sword raised.
No, not like this.
Since you see him there, and I used a hard move to bring the building down, go ahead and roll kick some ass.
Okay. Here we go. I'm not looking. I don't count things on the floor. And 10. 6 and 2.
And you smash him in.
Oh, yeah. Inflicting. Yeah. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be safe because he's already been hurt. I'm going to try to suffer less harm. I just want to put this guy down.
Okay.
Get out of my way.
You kill him.
Oh. Okay.
But then all of those wounds come back to haunt you.
Oh.
How many are there? 7?
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 1 box left. Oh God.
You start crawling, and you can feel things aren't right inside of you. Your vision is fading. You hear the screams of the fighting and dying in streets all around, but because of the weird light from the mortar and dust that's in the air, you don't see anything. It's all just disembodied sound. Your thoughts turn to your wife back in England.
Well, I hate to think this, but I may have to see her again in the next life. What will she do without me?
Would you like that not to be the case? Says a voice nearby.
Oof. Ooh, with the little strength I have, I'm going to lift my weapon and just swing it backwards at me. Whatever it was. What's there? You
swing your flail, but it contacts nothing. However, what you see is a figure in the fogs. You see a tall, slender figure wearing black, it appears. Long black coat, black pants, and also the silhouette of a tall hat, all just sort of vaguely seen in the swirling dust and the orange light.
Interesting. Is this my fatigue catching up with me? Is this person real?
You're drifting in and out of consciousness even as you try to push yourself back to your feet. And the voice says, "Wouldn't you like to see her again? I hear your thoughts. What has your God done for you here today? This city will fall."
I'm going to take a look around me, take it in. think for a second, surely I must be dying. This must be the end. This must be one of those damned hallucinations that broken, dying men scream out in the camp before they go. The fevered dreams must be taking me.
Hey, it's your backstory. What do you want to do with it?
I'm going to look at this, and I was like, are you a healer? How do you know what's in my head? Have I been talking out loud?
The figure looks around. Well, you find yourself here at the crossroads with a sacrifice of blood, so of course I am here.
Are you an angel?
Of sorts, I suppose. And the figure laughs.
I mean, this must be really happening. There's this person's really here. Can you help me? I'm badly hurt.
Oh, I can. But what do I get in return? What are you going to give to me? Are you willing to give to me that which you gave to your god?
I am not a man of wealth, but my word is true, and any man can vouch for me who knows me. That if I say I will do something, that I will do it, and I will work this debt off if I have to. But please save me. Yes,
I know. You wish to see her again.
Yes. I want to sit there and think how it's strange how this person knows of my wife. Maybe this is just my delusion state. Maybe this is all in my head. I don't know, but I know that I'm not long for the world. All right. Yes, please heal me.
The figure leans down and whispers words in your ear. They are the words of the contract.
Okay.
And then there is a paper in front of you. The figure says, "You will need blood to sign. Doesn't need to be yours."
Well, I'm going to remove the hand that's been holding my ribs. Probably been slashed open and smashed open. Probably covered in blood.
But you do have plenty.
Yes, I'm just going to reach for it. I'm expecting. I feel like at this moment I'd probably be in and out of consciousness. I'm barely hanging in there. All right, I'm going to reach forward and try to. What is this? What is going on? Just here's blood.
Sign your name, Chauncey Candlewick.
And I signed Chauncey Candlewick.
The figure stands, rolls the parchment up, puts it inside of the coat, and then leans down one more time. This time face to face with you, and you see that her eyes are sunken and lined with dark hollows. You see that her lips are black and pulled back from her teeth, but her teeth are bright and white. And she says, "Your service is to me now, Chauncey Candlewick, and I shall be with you always." And with that, she takes her hat off and she puts it on your head. And then she steps back into the orange light and the swirling dust. And when you stand up, wiping your hand across your eyes, feeling stronger than you did, when you stand up, you are standing on the beaches of England.
What? What sorcery is this? What is going on?
But you're wearing black and you have a strange hat in your hands. Well, on your head.
I'm going to spin about. Completely. Am I dead? What is it? What, is this hell?
It might be. It is England.
Oh, I'm going to kind of...
You recognize the beach. Actually, it is not far from your home, which I don't know where is.
All right. And my wounds?
Healed. You're wearing fine black clothes. Really as fine as they would wear in the streets of Paris or in the halls of Buckingham Palace.
Okay. What the? All right. And I'm on the beach near my home. Mm-hmm. I'm going to start running to my home. I don't know how long I've been gone. I don't know how long I've been since I've seen this, but I recognize this place. This isn't some fever dream. This is really here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you fall a couple of times on the way, and the grass is real, the stones are real, the path that leads from the beach up to the town is real, the town is real, the people in the streets who turn and look at you as you run through seem real because many of them shout, "Oh, man!"
I'm going to push back it. This is a miracle. I'm going to go see my wife, and then I'm going to have many, many, many children. Yeah, all right. I want to run. I want to race. I'm like...
You run through the town to your little house that's on the outskirts, and you rush up the porch steps and through the door and fling the door open. You yell your wife's name. What name do you yell?
Let's go with Lenore.
You yell your wife's name.
Lenore! Lenore! I'm home!
There is no answer.
I'm going to start racing from room to room. I was like, God has blessed me. There's been a miracle.
There's not that many rooms. You were not a wealthy man.
That's true. Where is she?
And she is in the parlor. Sitting in a chair in front of the fire.
Oh, this is amazing.
Well, part of her is.
What?
Another part of her is by the windowsill, and another part is by the stoop to the back door. Her head actually is upon the hearth and has been positioned there, facing outward from the fire as if to greet you as you come in, and only her torso sits in the chair in front of the fire.
God damn. Fuck.
And your cry can be heard throughout the town, it seems. And that is the memory that you have when you
got run through by the
when
fall
you
of
get
heaven.
run through by the fall of heaven.
Oh, this is one big sick joke. What was the point of all of that? I'm going to die. Oh, so there has to be a hell if there's a heaven.
Those are the thoughts that go through your mind as Lori runs you through with the fall of heaven. But it is not the end. You die. You feel it. And you've come close before. You have been hurt very badly. But this felt more. That spear, there was something in it that was hungry. And if you had been, if you had been something truly divine or something truly infernal, it would have sucked you down like syrup.
Oh, man.
And would have eaten you whole, and there would be no coming back from that.
That's intense.
But you are not. You are neither infernal nor divine. You are Chauncey Candlewick.
Yes.
So when you awaken, you are upon a mountaintop. Clouds like a sea spread out in all directions, frozen waves of cotton burning bright and white in the hard sunlight. "Hello, Chauncey Candlewick," says a being. It's a turtle, sunning itself on a rock.
Excuse me? I've died and gone to heaven and it's full of turtles?
Well, it's between heaven and hell, somewhere in between. It's a mountaintop.
I'm going to stay around. This is some kind of joke.
Oh, well, isn't it all? And the turtle laughs. And you've never, of course, heard a turtle laugh before, and you have heard a lot of things, but a turtle laughing is unusual at best.
I checked my chest. There's
no hole. In fact, you're wearing a simple white jerkin over simple black pantaloons, something like what you might have worn back before you went to war.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'm going to spin around.
Back in those days that you hadn't even thought of for hundreds of years.
Right. That's a memory I've long since forgotten. I'm going to turn to the turtle. What is this? What is going on?
Well, you said, heaven, hell. Those are words. Places? Maybe. But they're not really places. Not for the dead. There are locations you can go to, of course. You can travel to a place that has lakes of fire, all the writhing sinners. But that's not really hell. I'm not sure that I'd want a condo there. And you can visit the halls of angels, the glorious streets of heaven that are paved in gold and lined in marble, with, I suppose, harps playing at all hours, if you're into that sort of thing, I suppose. But, Chauncey Candlewick, heaven and hell No, for the dead, heaven and hell are different.
Interesting.
And so, what I'm here to do is to show you what waits for you when you, well, truly die.
Ooh, I get on my guard, ready for something.
So, let's take a little stroll down memory lane, shan't we?
Sure, Mr. Turtle. Let's do this.
Or Ms. I'm not partial. I'm a turtle.
I'm looking to take one last look around. This is it, right? There's nothing else out here. It's just me and this turtle.
Oh no, this is just a construct of your mind. So let's just take a look at all of those people that you've made deals for, shall we? Oh, come along. And the turtle kind of lifts up a front foot.
Yeah?
Go ahead, take the foot. I'm not slimy, I'm a turtle.
I'm going to reach down and take the foot.
You are suddenly in the body and mind, traveling along with, but unable to affect, the life of Nancy DeLangan, who wished for love at the crossroads, who met you there in the dark of night at the stroke of 12 with her blood sacrifice. And she just wanted love. She wanted the love of her best friend, her beau that she had long longed after, but who did not return those affections. And so you granted that wish, but you granted the wish for love, but not necessarily from him. And so all those who loved her, so many who loved her, they come at her, they ply her with flowers and gifts and their attentions, and some, they take more of her than she was ever willing to give.
Them's the breaks.
Things don't go well.
She got love.
And then you're elsewhere. You're with Balthazar Indigo, who wanted political power, and he got it. You gave it to him there at the crossroads, a different crossroads, but always the same crossroads. And shortly after he won his election to power, to president or parliament or whatever it was he wanted, you don't remember then, and it's not clear now, but shortly thereafter, he dies, choked and choking on poisons that a rival slipped into his breakfast one morning. And then you're with Kitworth. Oh, Kitworth, off in the wilds of America, the New World. He wanted to be the greatest gunslinger in the West, and you gave him, there on those dusty crossroads, there with the hangman's tree swinging nearby, you gave him a gun that could kill anyone he drew against. But when it did, it slew someone he knew within the week. And soon gunsmiths sought him out, wanting to test his mettle. And they sought him out, and they sought him out, and he did not want to fight, but every time he drew, and every time he drew, he killed the one he drew against, and he drew someone he knew, until, after the death of his own mother, he allowed himself to be gunned down in the street.
Yeah?
And Angeline Flest, who wanted beauty, which she gained, as far as the outside world was concerned, but when she looked upon herself in the mirror, all she saw was horror. And you see Lazarus Kane, who wanted the secret to saving a town, and he was given that. But the price was to be paid every 5 years in lives, and, well, you know how that all turned out. And on and on and on and on it goes, bouncing through time, across the years, to different places in the world. The deals made, the lives ruined, not just the lives of those that you gave their wishes to, but also those around them. All the weave and weft of it all as it spiders its way through the world. And then Callum McKay, whose wife was slain by angels, perhaps, who wished vengeance, who was given a spear, and you see him upon the cliffs near his town, looking over the sea, and you see an angel, wings white and wide, lift up above the edge of the cliffs, and Callum rears back and throws his spear, and it strikes true, and that angel falls from the sky and falls down below. And then the spear shimmers and appears in his hand again, and you see another angel, well, two actually, having come out of a cave down below. You see them go to the body and in horror, and one turns and looks up and sees Callum and cries out a warning to the other, because that other is the one that Callum is aiming at, and that other one turns and looks, and you see that it is the same one that speared you through. And as Callum throws the spear, that third angel, the one that cried out the warning, throws itself in front of the angel that slew you, and is speared in turn himself. The angel, the only surviving one, now that two angels are dead, it grabs a hold of the spear before it can vanish again, and is transported with it up beside Callum. And there they wrestle for it. And during that fight and their conversation, as the angel tries to find out what has happened, and as Callum tells him of his hatred, Callum is flung off of the cliff and to his death below.
Oh, so that's how it happened.
And then you are back upon the mountain, and the turtle says, "And those are all the lives you have touched. Oh, how beautiful they are. Because that is your heaven or hell, Chauncey Candlewick. When you die, you will live those lives."
What? What is you talking about? What madness is this?
And then you awaken again. But this time, you are in the London morgue, among the dead. And you hear a whisper in your head, "You don't think I would let you go that easily, do you, Mr. Candlewick?" And a figure steps out of the shadows, and she hands you your hat.
The Gothic Podcast is produced by C. Patrick Nagel, with theme music by Zoe Hovland and cover artwork by Jared George Art. Listen to the Gothic Podcast on Podbean or wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the Gothic Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or email us at thegothicpodcast@gmail.com. Support for the Gothic Podcast comes from you, our listeners, so please visit our Patreon page. Thanks.